The hangar was loud and full of dust. Soldiers moved everywhere. Some carried guns. Some checked their ships. The air smelled of fuel and metal. In the middle of all that noise stood Commander Dorn. He was tall. Very tall, his shoulders were wide. His voice was even wider. Every time he spoke, people stopped and listened. Not because they respected him. Because they were afraid of him. Dorn walked through the hangar like he owned the planet. His boots hit the metal floor hard. Thud, thud, thud. He looked left. He looked right. He was searching for someone to yell at. Then he saw her. A small woman was sitting near a cargo ship. She was not tall. She was not wide. She looked like a light wind could push her over. Her name was Serentha. She wore old brown pants and a gray shirt. No armor, no big gun, just a small tool bag near her feet. She was fixing a broken wire on the ship's landing leg. Dorn stopped walking. He smiled. But it was not a kind smile. It was the smile of a man who was about to make fun of someone. "Look at this," Dorn said loudly. A few soldiers turned their heads. "Look at our new fighter," Dorn said. He pointed at Serentha. "She is going to save us all." With her small hands and her small body. Some soldiers laughed. Not everyone. But enough. Serentha did not look up. She kept fixing the wire. Dorn walked closer. He stood right in front of her. His shadow fell over her like a dark cloud. "How much do you weigh?" Dorn asked. 100 pounds less? Serentha said nothing. Dorn laughed again. "You look like a strong wind would break you into 2 pieces. More laughter. Serentha slowly put down her tool. She looked at her hand. There was a long scar on her palm. Old. White. Deep. She did not look at Dorn. She looked at the scar. Dorn did not like that. He wanted her to be angry. He wanted her to cry. But she just sat there, quiet, still. "Are you deaf?" Dorn asked. "I am talking to you, little girl." Serentha stood up. She was very short compared to Dorn. He looked down at her like she was a child. She said only one word. "Yes?" Dorn's face turned red. "Yes, what?" "Yes, you are talking to me," Serentha said. Her voice was soft. Not weak. Soft. Like a person who did not need to shout. Dorn did not know what to say. He was not used to people being calm with him. He stepped closer. His face was very close to hers now. "Listen to me," Dorn said. "On this base, size matters. Strength matters. You have neither. So stay out of my way. Do you understand?" Serentha looked up at him. Her eyes were calm. Too calm. "I understand," she said. Dorn stared at her for a few more seconds. Then he turned and walked away. His boots went thud, thud, thud. The other soldiers slowly went back to their work. Serentha sat back down. She picked up her tool. She started fixing the wire again. A few minutes passed. Then a young soldier walked up to her. He was new. His name was Kale. He had kind eyes and dirty hands. "Hey," Kale said quietly. "Are you okay?" Serentha nodded. "That was not right," Kale said. "What he said to you?" Serentha did not answer. Kale sat down next to her. He looked at her small body, her thin arms, her quiet face. "I do not understand," Kale said. "Why did you not say anything back? Why did you let him talk to you like that?" Serentha stopped working. She looked at the scar on her hand again. Kale waited. Then Serentha spoke. Her voice was still soft, but now there was something else in it. Something heavy. "You want to know why I did not fight back?" she asked. Kale nodded. Serentha looked at the hangar door. Far away, like she was seeing something else, something from a long time ago. "Because last time I got angry," she said slowly. "A Titan-class warmech stopped working forever." Kale's mouth opened. He tried to say something, but no words came out. Serentha looked at him. Her eyes were not joking. "I am not here to fight with small men like Dorn," she said. "I am here because they asked me to come. They said there might be another Titan coming." Kale's face turned white. "Another Titan?" Serentha did not answer. She picked up her tool and went back to fixing the wire. Kale sat there for a long time. His heart was beating fast. He looked at Serentha again. She looked so small, so weak, so easy to break. But now he knew. That was a lie. She was not small. She was just hiding. And somewhere, in the dark part of space, a Titan-class warmech was still missing its head, because of her. Kyle did not sleep that night. He lay on his bed inside the small soldier barracks. The room was dark. Other soldiers were snoring, but Kale just stared at the ceiling. His mind kept going back to Serentha's words. A Titan-class warmech stopped working forever. He had never seen a Titan, but he had heard stories. Everyone had Titans were not normal war machines. They were monsters. 200 feet tall, arms as thick as old trees, armor that could stop a spaceship's cannon. They walked through buildings like paper. One Titan had once destroyed an entire city in 6 hours. 6 hours. 10,000 soldiers died trying to stop it, and Serentha had stopped one. Alone. Kyle sat up on his bed. He looked at the wall. His heart was beating fast. He had to know more. The next morning, the base was quiet. Too quiet. The sun had not fully risen yet. The sky was dark blue. A cold wind was blowing. Kale walked to the cargo hangar. He wanted to find Serentha. She was there, sitting on the same spot, near the same ship, drinking water from a metal bottle. She saw Kale coming. She did not smile. She did not frown. She just nodded once. Kale sat down next to her. "I could not sleep," Kyle said. Serentha took a slow sip of water. "I know." Kale looked at her. "How do you know?" "Because your eyes are red," Serentha said. "And you walked here like a man carrying something heavy." Kyle did not know what to say. She was strange, but not in a bad way. In a way that made him want to listen. "Can I ask you something?" Kale said. "You are already asking," Serentha said. Kale took a deep breath. "The Titan, the one you stopped. How did you do it?" Serentha looked at her scar again. The white line on her palm. She was quiet for a long time. Then she spoke. "I did not stop it with strength," she said. "I stopped it with a mistake." Kyle leaned closer. "What kind of mistake?" Serentha put down the water bottle. She looked at the hangar door, far away. Her eyes went dark. Not sad, dark, like someone remembering a storm. "I was young," she said. "Very young. 20 years old. I was part of a mining team on a small planet called Dustfall." Kale knew that name. Dustfall. Everyone knew that name. Dustfall was gone now. One morning, Serentha said, the ground started shaking. We thought it was an earthquake. But it was not. She stopped. Her hand touched her scar. It was a Titan, a real one. Not a story. Not a video. A real warmech with a red eye and a voice that sounded like breaking metal. Kale's throat felt dry. "The Titan came out of the ground," Serentha said. "It had been sleeping there for 500 years, old, but still alive, still angry." She looked at Kale. "We had 300 soldiers on Dustfall. The Titan killed 200 of them in the first hour." Kale felt cold. "Very cold. The rest ran," Serentha said. "They took ships and left. I could have left too. There was space for me on the last ship." "Then why did you stay?" Kyle asked. Serentha looked at her hands. "Because someone had to," she said. "And everyone else was bigger and stronger. But they were also afraid. Very afraid. Fear makes big people run. Fear made me stay." Kale did not understand. "That does not make sense. Bigger people should be braver." Serentha shook her head slowly. "No," she said. "Bigger people have more to lose. Small people know something big people forget." "What?" Kyle asked. Serentha looked him right in the eyes. "Small things can hide. Small things can crawl into places big things cannot reach. Small things can see the cracks." She raised her scarred hand. "The Titan did not see me. I was too small for its sensors, so I crawled inside its leg joint while it was busy destroying buildings." Kyle's eyes went wide. "Inside? You crawled inside a Titan?" Serentha nodded. "I found its main power cable. It was as thick as a man's body. I had no big weapon. Just a small saw and a broken ship battery." Kyle could not breathe. "And you cut the cable?" Serentha smiled. But it was not a happy smile. It was a tired smile. "I did not cut it," she said. "I burned it. I used the ship battery to make a short circuit." The Titan screamed. Then it fell. It took 3 hours to stop moving. She touched her scar again. "I got this scar when I climbed out. A piece of hot metal fell on my hand. I did not feel it until the next day." Kyle sat in silence. He looked at Serentha. This small, quiet woman who drank water from a metal bottle and fixed broken wires. She was not a soldier. She was something else, something more dangerous, something the Titans could not see until it was too late. Kyle did not. speak for a long time after Serentha finished her story. He just sat there. His hands were cold. His mind was full of images. A giant metal monster, a small woman crawling inside its leg, fire, smoke, a scream that shook the sky. He looked at Serentha again. She was drinking water like she had just told him about a normal day at work. That is... Kyle stopped. He did not have the right word. Crazy? Serentha said. Kyle shook his head. No, not crazy, impossible. Serentha put the water bottle down. Impossible things happen every day. You just do not hear about them because the people who do them do not like to talk. Then why are you telling me? Kyle asked. Serentha looked at him for a long time. Her eyes were soft now. Not dark because you asked, she said, and because you did not laugh at me like Dorn did. Kale felt something warm in his chest. Not love, respect. I would never laugh at you, Kale said. Serentha nodded. Then she stood up. Come, she said. We have work. The work was simple. Serentha showed Kyle how to check the cargo ship's engine, how to listen for bad sounds, how to smell for leaking fuel. Kale learned fast. He liked being near Serentha. She did not shout. She did not call him stupid. She just showed him once and then let him try. For a few hours the base felt almost peaceful. Then the alarm went off. The sound was loud. Too loud. A deep horn that made the floor shake. Red alert. Red alert. All soldiers to battle stations. Kale's heart stopped. Soldiers started running everywhere. Some were pulling on armor. Some were grabbing guns. Some were just standing still, frozen with fear. Commander Dorn ran into the hangar. His face was red. His eyes were wide. Move! 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 He shouted. Enemy ship incoming! 30 minutes out. Kyle looked at Serentha. She was not moving. She was standing near the cargo ship looking at the sky. Serentha! Kale shouted. Did you hear? Enemy ship. Serentha did not turn around. I heard. Then why are you just standing there? Kale asked. His voice was shaking. Serentha pointed at the sky. Look, Kale looked up. Through the hangar's open roof he saw something, a dark shape, far away, growing bigger every second. But it was not a normal ship, it was too big. Too dark, too quiet, Kale's blood turned cold. What is that? He whispered. Serentha's face did not change. But her voice became very low, very serious. That, she said, is not a normal enemy ship. Dorn ran toward them. He was shouting at Serentha. You, small one, get to the back. You are useless here. Serentha did not move. Dorn grabbed her arm. Did you hear me? I said. Serentha turned her head. She looked at Dorn's hand on her arm. Dorn let go. He did not know why, but something in her eyes made his hand open by itself. Commander, Serentha said. Her voice was calm. Too calm. Tell your men to stop preparing the big guns. Dorn blinked. What? Why? Because big guns will not stop that thing, Serentha said. She pointed at the dark shape in the sky. Dorn looked up. His face changed. The red color left. White came. No, he whispered. Kale looked at Dorn, then at Serentha, then at the sky. What? Kale asked. His voice was breaking. What is it? Someone tell me, Serentha spoke. Her voice was quiet, but everyone heard it. It is a Titan-class warmech, she said. The hangar went silent. Even the alarm sounded far away now. A new one, Serentha continued, or maybe an old one that woke up. But it does not matter. It is coming here. Dorn's mouth opened, then closed, then opened again. No sound came out. How do you know? A soldier asked from far behind. Serentha did not turn around. Because I have seen one before, she said, and I have the scar to prove it. Kale grabbed Serentha's arm. His hands were shaking. You stopped one before, Kale said. You can stop this one too, right? Serentha looked at him. For the first time, Kale saw something in her eyes that scared him. Fear, not for herself, for him. The last Titan was old, Serentha said. Sleeping for 500 years. Weak, slow. This one. She looked at the sky again. This one is moving fast. That means it is awake, fresh, angry. So? Kale asked. Serentha pulled her arm away gently. So last time I got lucky, she said. This time luck may not come. The dark shape in the sky grew bigger. The ground started to shake. The Titan was almost there. The ground shook harder. Not like an earthquake. Like a giant was taking steps. Heavy steps, slow steps. Each one closer than the last. Soldiers ran in every direction. Some screamed. Some cried. Some just stood still, staring at the sky with empty eyes. Commander Dorn finally found his voice. "Everyone to the north wall," he shouted. "Get the heavy cannons ready." Now, soldiers moved, but not fast. Their legs were shaking. Their hands were shaking. Fear had made them slow. Serentha did not move toward the north wall. She walked toward the small cargo ship, the one she had been fixing. Kale ran after her. "Where are you going?" Kale shouted over the noise. "Dorn said north wall." Serentha did not stop walking. "Dorn is going to get a lot of people killed." Kyle grabbed her arm. "Then what should we do?" Serentha turned to face him. Her eyes were not calm anymore. They were sharp, fast, like an animal that had been hunted before and survived. "That Titan," Serentha said, "has one weakness. Every Titan has the same weakness." "What?" Kale asked. "The neck joint," Serentha said. "Right where the head meets the body. The armor is thinner there, but you have to get close. Very close." Kale's stomach turned. "Close? How close?" Serentha raised her scarred hand. "Close enough to touch." Kale wanted to run. His legs were telling him to run, but his heart was telling him to stay. "I will help you," Kale said. His voice broke when he said it. But he said it. Serentha looked at him for a long second. Then she nodded once. "Stay behind me," she said, "and do not scream." Titans hear screams. The Titan arrived. It came over the mountain like a dark god, 200 feet tall. Its body was black metal. Its one red eye glowed like fire. Its arms ended in hands that could crush a house. The ground under everyone's feet cracked. Dorn shouted, "Fire!" The heavy cannons on the north wall shot at the Titan. Big balls of fire flew through the air. They hit the Titan's chest. Nothing. The Titan did not stop. It did not slow down. It did not even look at the cannons. The red eye turned toward the north wall. The Titan raised one arm, then it swung. The north wall disappeared. Just gone. Metal and stone and dust flew everywhere. Soldiers flew like small toys. Some did not get up again. Dorn fell to his knees. His face was white. His lips were moving, but no words came out. The Titan took another step. Serentha and Kale were behind the cargo ship. They had a clear view of the Titan's back. "The neck joint," Serentha whispered. "We need to get to that building." She pointed at a tall tower near the Titan's left leg. "If we climb that tower, we can jump onto its shoulder." Kale looked at the tower. Then at the Titan, then back at the tower. "That is crazy," Kyle said. "Yes," Serentha said, "but it is the only crazy that works." She pulled a small bag from the cargo ship. Inside were 4 round objects. They looked like metal apples. "What are those?" Kale asked. "Magnetic bombs," Serentha said. "Stick to metal. Explode 5 seconds later." "I made them myself." Kale stared at her. "You made bombs? While you were fixing the ship?" Serentha almost smiled. "I do many things while fixing ships." The Titan took another step. It was heading toward the center of the base, toward the barracks, where the wounded soldiers were hiding. "We have to go now," Serentha said. She ran. Kyle ran behind her. The tower was old. The stairs were broken. Serentha climbed fast, using her small hands to pull herself up. Kale was bigger, slower. His feet slipped on the rusted metal. Below them, the Titan destroyed another building. The sound was like thunder and screaming mixed together. Serentha reached the top of the tower. Kale came 2 seconds later. Both were breathing hard. The Titan's shoulder was close. Very close. Maybe 10 feet away. The neck joint was right there. A thin line of dark metal between 2 heavy plates. "We have to jump," Serentha said. Kale looked down. The ground was so far away. "If he fell, he would not survive." "I cannot," Kale said. His voice was small. Serentha grabbed his hand. "Yes, you can," she said. "Do you trust me?" Kale looked at her face, small, dirty, scared, but not stopping. "Yes," he said. "Then jump on 3, Serentha said. 1, the Titan moved its head. The red eye swept past them. 2, Kale's heart was screaming. 3, they jumped. They landed hard. Kale's feet hit the Titan's shoulder first, then his knees, then his chest. He slid for a second. His fingers grabbed a small metal ridge. He held on. Serentha landed next to him, quiet, like a cat. She did not slip. She did not fall. Her small hands found holds that Kale could not even see. Below them, the ground moved away. The Titan was still walking, still destroying. It did not know they were there. Not yet. Serentha pulled Kale up. "Do not look down," she whispered. Kale looked down. Mistake. The ground was so far. The soldiers looked like ants. The buildings looked like toys. His head spun. His hands got wet with sweat. "I said do not look down," Serentha said again. This time her voice was harder. Kale looked at her instead. Her face was calm, but her eyes were moving fast. Looking at the neck joint. Looking at the bombs in her bag. Looking at the Titan's head. "The neck joint is 10 feet that way," Serentha said, pointing. "But there is a problem." "What problem?" Kale asked. Serentha pointed at the Titan's head. Near the red eye there was a small opening. Inside the opening something moved, a gun, a small automatic gun, pointed right at the neck joint. "The Titan knows its weakness," Serentha said, "so it put a guard there. If we get close, that gun will shoot." Kale's heart sank. "Then how do we get past it?" Serentha was quiet for 3 seconds. Then she smiled. Not a happy smile. A dangerous smile. "We do not get past it," she said. "I distract it." "You plant the bombs," Kale's mouth opened. "Me? I do not know how to—" "Yes, you do," Serentha said. She put the bag of magnetic bombs in his hands. "You stick them on the neck joint, anywhere, 3 bombs. Then you run back to the tower and jump." "What about you?" Kale asked. Serentha looked at the small gun near the Titan's eye. "I will be making that gun very angry," she said, "so it does not see you." Kale wanted to say no. He wanted to run. He wanted to wake up from this nightmare. But then he looked at Serentha's scarred hand. And he remembered her story. Crawling inside a Titan, burning its power cable, almost dying. She had done that alone. He could do this with her. "Okay," Kale said. His voice was not strong, but it was not weak either. "Okay," Serentha nodded. "Good, wait for my signal." Serentha moved. She crawled along the Titan's shoulder like a lizard, fast, low, silent. The wind tried to push her off. Her fingers did not let go. Kale watched her. His heart was a drum in his chest. Serentha reached a spot near the Titan's head. The small gun turned toward her. She waved her hand. The gun fired. Bam, bam, bam. Metal pieces flew off the Titan's shoulder. Serentha was not there. She had moved 2 feet to the left. The gun turned again. Fired again. Bam, bam, bam. Serentha moved again. Left, right, like a dancer. Like someone who had done this before, now. Serentha screamed. Kale ran. His feet slipped on the metal. His hands grabbed rough edges. The wind tried to pull him off. He did not stop. 3 seconds. That was all it took. He reached the neck joint. It was right there. A thin line of dark metal between 2 heavy plates. Hot, shaking, angry. Kale ripped open the bag. His fingers found the first bomb. He stuck it on the neck joint. 1 second bomb. Stuck it next to the first 2 third bomb. His hand was shaking so hard. He almost dropped it. He did not drop it. He stuck it right between the other 2. 3. Kale. "Jump," Serentha screamed. Kale turned. The small gun was turning away from Serentha. It was pointing at him now. The red dot of the gun's aim landed on his chest. Time stopped. Then a hand grabbed his collar. Serentha pulled him. Hard. Both of them fell off the Titan's shoulder. They fell through the air. The ground rushed up. They hit the tower's top. Hard. Kyle's head bounced off the metal. His ears rang. His vision went white. Serentha was already pulling him up. "Move," she screamed. "Move now!" They climbed down the tower, fast, too fast. Kale fell twice. Serentha pulled him up twice. Behind them, the Titan stopped walking. The red eye turned. It knew. They hit the ground. Kale's legs gave out. He fell on his knees. Dust went everywhere. Serentha stood next to him. She was counting on her fingers. 5 seconds, she said. Maybe 4. The Titan turned its whole body. The red eye found them. The small gun aimed. Then the bombs exploded. Boom! The neck joint blew apart. Metal pieces flew in every direction. The Titan's head tilted, then hung, then fell. The body stayed standing for 3 seconds. Then it fell too. The ground shook one last time. Then silence. Kyle lay on the dirt. He could not move. He could not speak. He could only breathe. Serentha sat down next to him. Her hands were bleeding. Her face was dirty. But she was alive. "You did good," Serentha said. Kale laughed. It was a broken laugh. A tired laugh. But a laugh. "I stuck bombs on a Titan," Kale said. Serentha nodded. Yes, you did. Far away, soldiers were running toward them. Dorn was at the front. His mouth was open. His eyes were wide. He looked at the fallen Titan, then at Serentha, then at Kale. He did not say anything. For once, Commander Dorn had no words. The dust took a long time to settle. Kale sat on the ground. His body was shaking. Not from cold. From everything. The jump, the bombs, the gun pointing at his chest. The fall. He looked at his hands. They were still moving, like leaves in wind. Serentha sat next to him. She was not shaking. She was just sitting, looking at the fallen Titan. The huge body lay on its side. The head was separate. The red eye had gone dark. No more glow. No more death, just metal. Just silence. Soldiers gathered around them. Not too close. Like they were afraid to touch something holy. Something dangerous. Something that had just done the impossible. Commander Dorn walked through the crowd. His boots made soft sounds now. Not loud. Not proud. Soft. He stopped in front of Serentha. For a long time he did not speak. Then he did something no one had ever seen him do. He got down on one knee. The crowd gasped. Dorn looked at the ground. Not at Serentha's eyes. At the ground, I was wrong, Dorn said. His voice was quiet, not loud. Not commanding, just human. Serentha did not say anything. I called you small, Dorn continued. I called you weak. I said you were useless. He stopped. His jaw moved like he was chewing on broken glass. I was wrong about all of it. Kyle watched. His shaking hands slowly stopped. Serentha looked at Dorn for a few seconds. Then she stood up. You are not the first person to mistake size for strength, Serentha said. And you will not be the last. Dorn looked up. His eyes were wet. Not crying, but close. What you did today, Dorn said. No one else on this base could have done that. No one. Serentha nodded. I know, Dorn blinked. Then he let out a small laugh. A surprised laugh. You do not make it easy to apologize. Serentha almost smiled. No, I do not, she offered her hand. Her small, scarred hand. Dorn looked at it. Then he took it. She pulled him up. For a moment, they just stood there. The tall commander and the small woman who had killed 2 Titans. Then Dorn turned to the soldiers. Listen to me, Dorn said. His voice was loud again. But different. Not angry, strong. From this day, no one on this base judges anyone by their size. By their look. By their weight. You understand? The soldiers nodded. Some said yes, sir. You see that woman? Dorn pointed at Serentha. She is not small. She is the biggest person on this planet. Remember that. The soldiers looked at Serentha with new eyes. Not pity. Not confusion. Respect. Later that night, the base was quiet. The fires had been put out. The wounded were in the medical tent. The dead had been counted. Kale sat on the cargo hangar floor. Same spot as before. Same cargo ship. Same cold metal. Serentha walked in. She had a clean shirt now. Her hands had bandages. She sat down next to him. You should sleep, Serentha said. So should you, Kyle said. Serentha shrugged. Sleep is hard after a Titan. Kyle looked at her. How many have you killed now, Titans? Serentha thought for a moment. 2, but the first one was old and slow. This one was young and fast. So maybe 1.5, Kale laughed. A real laugh. You are strange. Yes, Serentha said. That is what happens when you crawl inside war machines. You become strange. They sat in silence for a minute. Then Kale asked the question that had been in his head all day. Why did you come here? Kale asked. To this base. You did not have to. You could have stayed hidden, stayed safe. Serentha looked at the sky through the open roof. Stars. So many stars. Because no one else knows how to stop Titans, Serentha said. And someone has to. Kyle nodded slowly. What will you do now? He asked. Serentha stood up. She walked to the cargo ship. The same one she had been fixing. I will fix this ship, she said. And I will wait. For what? Serentha turned to look at him. Her face was half in shadow, half in starlight. For the next Titan, she said. There is always another Titan. Kale felt cold again. But not the bad kind of cold. The kind that wakes you up. The kind that makes you ready. I want to come with you, Kale said. Serentha raised one eyebrow. You almost fell off a tower today. I stuck the bombs, Kale said. Serentha looked at him for a long time. Then she nodded. Yes, she said. You did. She turned back to the ship. Kale sat there. His heart was full. His body was tired, but his mind was clear. He had helped kill a Titan, and tomorrow he would learn how to kill another one. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this HFY story, like, subscribe, and comment.